So I had a subscriber ask me, I put out a video from like 2011 to 2019 Ford F-150s. One of the main reasons why the wipers don't work is there's two reasons why the wipers actually don't go up and down. The steering, or the stock, the wiper selector stock is on the steering wheel, the little thing you turn back and forth. That's very common to go out on those, especially after a few years of use. It's very easy to change. I have a video showing how to do it. But also at the same time, there's the transmission linkage assembly underneath the plastic outside. So actually pulling that plastic away from the bottom of the windshield and looking at the assembly down inside, you'll see the ball pivot points are all rotten and rusted and dried out, and it starts to slow down the wiper assembly so much that it could cause the motor to actually burn up, or the fuse to pop, or the wiper arm to actually pop off the assembly. And then he said something to the extent of, well, does that also have something to do with the wipers themselves? Like, not the wipers themselves, but the washer, the wiper pump washer. Some of these vehicles do have the power for the windshield washer pump that actually run through the motor. So if the motor goes bad, you may still get a spray, but you get no wipers. Or if the motor goes bad, you may get no wipers. So right now what you're looking at is, this is a diagram of the washer assembly, but from my phone. I'm screen recording from my phone right now because I have the ability as a dealership technician to log into the same manufacturer website on my phone. It's called PTS Mobile. And I have a technician login, so I can like literally look at this stuff right from my phone at home. So what we're looking at here is, it says hot at all times, fuse 46. It's a 10 amp fuse out at the battery junction box, and that's in the engine bay. And if you look at the circuit here, it says fuse 46 actually feeds the pole side of the relay, pins 1 and 2, which is the side that energizes enough to pull the switched pole 3 up to position 5. So you're looking at pin 3 to pin 5. That pole will actually pull closed, and it will send power through that green wire. And then it itself will feed fuse 32, which is a 30 amp fuse, and fuse 28, which is a 15 amp fuse. Also, at the same time as power flows through that coil side, which is 1 and 2, it will feed that body control module down there, which is a run accessory field effect transistor inside the body control module, which is inside the truck. So let's move to page 3 and see where it goes. So here we are at page 3. Let's see if we can find the wiper motor. So if we look on the bottom, where the grounds come off of the windshield wiper, see the entire blue box? That blue solid line means that's one solid item, and everything that you see inside that blue box is contained in one unit, typically a motor or some kind of object doing an action. If you look at the pink wire up top, that was the hot run in accessory mode with windshield wiper motor relay engaged. And if you look, it actually runs into the wiper motor housing, and then all of that stuff is going on inside that blue box. And where does the power come from? Right there on the bottom, there's an internal relay, and it is actually built inside the wiper motor. And it itself, whenever you push your button in on the windshield wiper stock, the selector switch inside the truck, when you push it in to spray, it actually sends power through that relay, and then it engages and closes the pole, and then the motor lets power go through to the windshield wiper motor. And that is down there in that blue box, or that blue line coming out of the blue box that says windshield washer pump motor. And then it has a ground on the bottom going over to G100. Now, the best way to look and see whether or not you have got power at connector 137 is actually grab just an incandescent test light, not an LED test light. They're junk because the smallest amount of voltage will let those things go off. An actual incandescent test light, you need a bulb, like one of those little bulb test lights, so you actually get a little bit of a load. And even at that, they're not super accurate, but they're pretty accurate. You can use it for basic testing. So you go to connector, what does that say, 1? So let's go to this next page. If I scroll over, I can look and see all these connectors. This is on my phone, by the way. This is awesome. So we can go to connector 137. Let's click on it. Let's look at the connector. This is the connector at the washer pump. And we'll look at 137. It gives us a connector number. It says it's the connector for the windshield washer pump motor. It gives us the harness number, and then it says base part number NA, and then service pigtail. Let's look at the image. There it is. And that's what it tells you right there. So pin 1 is the ground headlamp panel. So that should be grounded. And pin 2 is your actual power circuit, your control module front washer. So you got your ground, which is pin 1, and pin 2 is your power. So let's go to, so while somebody's pushing the button in and you've got that connector unplugged, you should be able to test pin 2 and actually have power. That test light should be lighting up. So if you're pushing it and the windshield wipers are going up and down, and you're getting power down there at that connector, and you've got good ground on the other pin in that connector, you have a bad pump. It's not your turn signal selector or windshield wiper stock selector. It's your pump. If you've got no ground, you got to figure out what's going on in your ground circuit and figure out why you don't have ground. You could temporarily like clip a wire to the battery and run your own ground down there and like back probe pin 1 and give yourself ground to make sure that that's the problem, but that's typically not it. And on pin 1, you could also, if you have ground but you don't have power, you can supply power to pin 1 and get that washer pump to start working just to verify that it's not a motor problem. 9 times out of 10, if your windshield wipers work fine and you're pushing in the button on the wiper stock to get it to spray fluid on the window and it's not spraying, but the wipers are actually moving up and down, typically it's a pump. In my experience, 99.9% of the time it's a pump. I just had a 2016 Ford Explorer come in the other day. Same type of diagram as this right here. Same situation. Wipers would go up and down, but the pump wouldn't work. Ended up putting a pump in the vehicle. Worked like it was brand new. Same situation. 99.9% of the time, the pump has went out if the wipers are actually moving. Or if you hear the pump when you're pushing the button, but you're not getting fluid out of the nozzles, the line has probably blown off somewhere. Or if it's wintertime, something is frozen. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Hope you've gained something from this. Let's look at the available pigtail kits. If you want to go to your Ford dealer and order a new connector for your windshield washer pump, something damaged, it got into an accident, whatever, your service part number is 3U2Z14S 411-EKB. 3 Uniform 2 Zulu -14 Sierra 411 Edward Kilo Bravo. And then here is, it says it could be the same sensor as the side impact sensor as well. And it says here's another one, same style connector. Let me see what the difference is between the two. Little alignment tabs on the bottom, side, top. they look the same. Tin greased. Tin greased. Yes, this is one of the reasons why I really don't like these connectors. They're tin connectors and they're not gold plated or silver plated pins, which they doesn't make for a good connection, but that's how they've been doing it to cheap out. A lot of these manufacturers have been using tin connection. I guess this other one is the same connector as well. I don't know. I would be half tempted to order the top one, because this is EKC and this is EKB on top. So you may have to order both to make sure you get both and then return the one you don't need. Because this one says it's a high mount stop lamp. This is, by the way, we're looking at a 2016 F150 right now. Reverse, running board, electronic throttle body, windshield washer fluid pump, brake fluid level, side impact, air suspension. I don't know. You have to be the judge of that. We run into this all the time as technicians at the dealership. You order one and you're like, damn, I should have ordered the other one. Why didn't they specify better? Or there's one like little small it changed, but I don't see a difference in the connector. So I bet if you ordered either one, they would both work. But if I was you, I would order both and then return the one that doesn't. I hope this helps somebody. I apologize for doing this on my phone, but this is the only way I could really show you exactly what I'm talking about. Be blessed, guys.